Hi guys, so I just wanted to get on because I'm super excited, and some of you are new here, so you may not know that I have illustrated 4 coloring books so far. I have my 5th. I have about 4 illustrations left before I can publish it, but I just wanted to show you the coloring books because I'm really excited about it. Because I did, conceive of and design and illustrate them myself. So we have the Animals of Inspiration coloring book. This coloring book I designed kind of as a bridge between adults and kids to talk about more spiritual, energetic concepts. So inside you will find fun little sayings like "in the flow" or "take the leap." There's lots of little unicorns, there's lots of other creatures, "level up." And there's always more magic in store. So those are just a few of the illustrations in Animals of Inspiration. I also just received copies of HeartFULL Meow, which is my enchanted cats coloring book. For those of you who aren't familiar with my work, I do channel animals' energy and animal wisdom into my art. So HeartFULL Meow has cats like Calvin, like Chai. Hi Karen. I'm really excited because I just got hard copies of all of the coloring books. Diego, Jinx. So there's a whole bunch of cats. Penny, who was really fun. She's on Instagram as Ginger Penny. So those are a few of the illustrations from HeartFULL Meow. We also have HeartFULL Dogs, because I do illustrate dogs as well. And in HeartFULL Dogs we have, thank you, we've got Cosmo, French Bulldog, Kulo, we've got Luca, who's the dog of Hillary Schneider, for those of you who have been in Soul Medicine Tribe, Opie, who's one of our 4 dogs here at the house, Scooter. So there's just a bunch of dogs in here. Stucky's my dog as well. And at the back of the cats and the dogs books, I also have samplers. So there's 2 horses. There are 2 horses at the back of each book, and then 2 dogs in the cats book and 2 cats in the dogs book. So that's a, what do you call them? A Sphinx cat, for those of you who are familiar with the hairless Sphinx cats. The 4th coloring book is one that I was commissioned and actually paid to illustrate. This is for the Austin Animal Shelter in Austin, Texas, and they are the largest no-kill animal shelter in the United States. No-kill means that instead of putting down the animals when they get too full, they find other shelters to take them to, other rescues to take them to, find them homes, and they work with special needs animals as well. So the coolest thing about this coloring book, besides the fact that I illustrated all the animals, is that they actually gave me a little paragraph for each of the animals to explain the special need and, how a no-kill shelter helps all kinds of animals. So it doesn't just help the animals who are the most adoptable. It helps and finds homes for animals who you may think are less adoptable. For example, Amy. Amy is a silly girl, and sometimes she even chases her own tail, which leaves us in stitches. Amy has something called feline leukemia, which means she needs some special care. Because of this, Amy went to stay with her friends at Austin Pets Alive, where she gets all the toys she wants and gets to hang out in a sanctuary. A sanctuary is a place that's a lot like a home, where pets can live until they find a home, and if no one adopts them, they can stay there forever. Amy has lots of kitty friends there. So it was really cool because they wrote these really sweet little descriptions. Chuck is a pit bull. We have Flower, who's a puppy. We have Elmer, who's a cat in a wheelchair. There's a rooster, a baby possum. All kinds of fun animals are in the Coloring Austin Animals book. So I just wanted to hop on because I get really excited when I see my own work in tangible form that I can hold in my hands. So all 4 of these coloring books I've created in the last year. And as inspiration for you, this was not something that I never planned on doing. It was something I never strategized about. I loved creating these illustrations. I loved drawing cats. I loved drawing dogs. And having my cats and dogs coloring books are actually what gave me the opportunity to be commissioned and paid to do this one. So there may be things in your life that you feel compelled to do, you get excited about, and find a reason to do more of that, because that's what I did. I published the coloring books because I just wanted to use more of my cat and dog portraits and get them out into the world. And because I did that of my own motivation, my own inspiration, someone was able to find me to commission me to do another book. So you never know where things are going to lead. All you know is what you're passionate about. All you know is what you're excited about. All you know is that you have to take that next step, because you never know where that next step is going to lead you. Hey, Tammy, I was just showing off my 4 coloring books because the Austin Animals coloring book is here. For Karen, you've already seen this. And then I showed off my HeartFULL Dogs coloring book, where I've got these dogs to color. Luca, you know Luca. And then the cats coloring book. I'm just proud, so. And then the Animals of Inspiration coloring book, which of course I've had. So Live Your Truth. This is one of my favorite illustrations, because you can never not live your truth. If you're following your passion, you're following your excitement. So yeah, I'm just really excited, and I wanted to share that excitement with you because it keeps coming back to me again and again, the guidance to keep following our inspiration and keep following our motivation. And it doesn't have to be because it's going to result in sales, or it's going to result in a better job, or it's going to result in better connections. The only reason to do whatever you're going to do, thank you, the only reason to do what you're going to do is because you're passionate about it, because you're here because you have a unique purpose in the world. And the only reason that you've been given these gifts is to share them. And if you're not going to share them, people aren't going to be able to receive them. And there's people out in the world waiting to receive your gifts. Just like I keep finding people who are ready to receive mine. And it's not something that I set out with. I'd never set out saying, I'm going to be some guru and people are going to look up to me or anything like that. All I do is share what inspires me, because I feel like you can feel my passion and you can feel how excited I am about the things that I share. And maybe that's going to spark a light inside of you. Maybe that's going to suddenly make you realize that you're passionate about something that you haven't been expressing. And maybe that's going to be motivation enough for you to start to explore that and add more of that in your life. And maybe adding more of that in your life is going to result in some kind of, huge life change or epiphany. You never know. And while I keep being reminded by the universe that we can't take steps based on what we think it's going to bring us. For example, I can't just take a job because I think it's going to get me certain connections or a certain level of pay, or, certain freedoms that come with having that regular financial contribution to your bank account. You never know. And that is the coolest, most exciting thing, because as long as you're doing what you love, and even if you're doing something during the day, I'm doing something during the day I'm not particularly passionate about to get my paycheck, but I do find things throughout my day that keep me going and that keep me inspired. And, I'll take 10 minutes out of my day at work and make myself a tea with honey and cream, and that's something that I love. I really love that experience, and that's adding something that I love into my day. Occasionally I'll also go outside during my day at work, and having the sunshine and having the fresh air and seeing the mountains, because I live in the mountains, fuels me. And so that's another way I'm adding something that I love into my day. So doing what you love doesn't necessarily mean you have to give up everything, and you have to give up all security and safety, challenge your survival instinct, and throw yourself into this loop. My dog is emphasizing this point, right? Right, Ronan? Are you emphasizing this point? But what it really means is to find the little things during your day, the little places where you can make a choice, the little places where you can do some art, you can do some writing, you can do some reflecting, you can gather yourself back into yourself and really sit in your own presence and magnify the impact that you're already going to have. So it's really about just being and being who you are and exploring the things you love. And that is what led me to create these coloring books. And I'm excited about them because there is so much more magic than meets the eye. I do a lot of energy work and a lot of intentional work. And when I'm channeling this energy, the energy goes into these drawings. So while on the outside it may just look like a book full of random drawings, I know that even if they don't realize what's happening, the people who dig into these coloring books and the people who involve themselves in the experience of coloring these images that I have channeled with the energy involved are going to get the downloads, they're going to get the magic, they're going to get the energy anyway. So it's something that you don't even have to know about. It's a gift because this kind of work is deeper than you can even conceive. It's deeper than even I can conceive. And all I know is that the energy is here, that the magic is here, and that it's my gift that I can share, and it becomes a gift for all of you and for everyone else who comes into contact with these. And it's something that I can't predict. Not always are we going to be able to predict the effect of our actions or the effect of our creations. All we can know is that if we're given the idea, we're given the idea for a reason, and it may be because it's for you to act on it. It's not for you to decide what happens to the creation after you create it. It's only for you to claim your gifts and create and get it out there. It doesn't matter, for instance, this is an intuitive art group. So it's not just about creating intuitive art so that you can sell it. Although it's awesome if somebody recognizes the energy in your work because it came from you, because it was you expressing your divine essence. People will recognize that feeling, even again, if they're not conscious of it. So it's about you channeling that divine essence and using your intuition to create these beautiful pieces, whether it's art or whether it's writing or whether it's some other form of expression, and knowing that the people who are meant to receive your magic and wisdom will. So welcome. I'm just wrapping up. You guys are welcome to watch the replay. I really just flipped through my coloring books because I've illustrated 4 in the last, it's really only been the last 6 months. 6 months, 8 months, maybe the last 8 months. I've taken it upon myself to illustrate and publish 4. And this whole little Facebook Live video has been to encourage you to follow your intuitive nudges and follow your passions wherever they may lead you. Because you never know who you might influence, who you might inspire. You never know who you might connect with. Not just who can get you to your next place in your journey, but, someone who you can light a fire under without it being that pressury, kind of sketchy kind of fire. So you can light a fire under somebody else just by expressing who you are and thereby giving them permission to express who they are at an authentic soul level. So I just wanted to jump in because I'm so excited and I figured I'd share. And I'm a little bit self-conscious because I feel like I'm bragging about my books, but really it's just to encourage you because all 4 of these came about because I had an idea and I had a passion and I just had to get it out into the world. And if you have that similar impulse, I encourage you to follow it because there are people who are waiting for you. With that, I am going to leave you. Farewell, my lovelies. Have a good night.